The bar was dimly lit, wrapped in soft golden shadows, with slow music humming in the background. She stood behind the counter, hands slightly trembling as she wiped a glass, trying to hide the faint bruise near her wrist. No one noticed, except the pain she carried in silence. Her little daughter sat on a stool nearby, eyes glossy with tears, watching her mother closely. In a soft, broken voice, she asked, "Why did he hurt you?" The question hung in the air, innocent, but heavy enough to shatter everything. Before the mother could respond, the door opened. A man walked in, calm, composed, dangerously quiet. It was Vincent Cordero. The name alone made grown men look away. He wasn't there for trouble, just a drink. But as he stepped closer to the counter, he heard every single word. His expression didn't change, but something in his eyes darkened. He placed his order casually, as if nothing mattered. But he had already heard enough. Dark past. Vincent Cordero didn't become who he was by accident. He was raised in violence. His father taught him that mercy was weakness. His mother died when he was 9, and after that, love became a foreign language he forgot how to speak. By 25, he controlled half the city. By 30, no one dared to cross him. Money, power, fear. He had it all. But every night, when the world went quiet, Vincent sat alone in his penthouse, staring at the city lights through floor-to-ceiling windows. Empty bottles. Silence. No one to call. No one who cared whether he lived or died, only whether he could still kill. He had women. Plenty. But none stayed. They wanted the danger, the thrill, the status. Not him. Never him. His closest ally, Marco, once asked him, "Don't you ever want something real?" Vincent didn't answer. He didn't know how. The truth was, Vincent had stopped feeling years ago. He moved through life like a ghost in an expensive suit. Untouchable, unreachable, unbreakable. Until that night at the bar. The turning point. Vincent sat at the counter, bourbon in hand, watching the woman from the corner of his eye. Her name was Elena. He'd seen her before, always working late, always alone. She had soft brown eyes that looked tired, like someone who had cried too many nights in a row. And then there was the little girl, maybe 6 years old. Big eyes, messy ponytail. She swung her legs on the stool, clutching a worn stuffed rabbit. "Mama," the girl whispered again, tugging her mother's sleeve. "Why did he hurt you?" Elena's face crumbled for just a second. She turned away, blinking fast. "It's nothing, sweetheart. I tripped." The girl shook her head. "You didn't trip. I saw him." Vincent took a slow sip of his drink. He shouldn't care. This wasn't his business. He came here to escape, not to get involved. But the girl's voice, small, broken, innocent, it crawled under his skin. Elena knelt down, brushing her daughter's hair back. "Listen to me, baby. Sometimes grown-ups make mistakes. But I'm okay. I promise." "I don't like him," the girl said, tears rolling down her cheeks. "I want him to go away." "I know," Elena whispered, holding her close. "I know." Vincent set his glass down a little harder than he meant to. The sound echoed. Elena looked up, startled. Their eyes met for just a moment. He saw it then. The shame, the fear, the exhaustion of someone who had been fighting alone for too long. "Another," Vincent said quietly, nodding at his glass. Elena hesitated, then poured. Her hands were shaking. The silence that spoke. Vincent didn't leave right away. He stayed until closing, nursing his drink, pretending not to listen. But he heard everything. The little girl fell asleep on the stool, head resting on her folded arms. Elena worked quietly, glancing at her daughter every few seconds, as if making sure she was still breathing. When the last customer left, Elena finally spoke. "I'm sorry," she said softly, not looking at him. "You didn't come here to hear all that." Vincent didn't answer at first. Then, in a voice low and steady, he said, "You don't owe me an apology." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Still, it's embarrassing. It shouldn't be." Elena paused, surprised by his tone. She studied him carefully. This man in the expensive coat, with scars on his knuckles and shadows in his gaze. "You don't know me," she said quietly. "No," Vincent agreed. "But I know men like him." Silence. Elena looked down. "I keep thinking I can fix it. That if I just try harder, he'll stop." Vincent's jaw tightened. "He won't." She didn't argue. Deep down, she knew. "I have nowhere else to go," she whispered. "No family. No money. If I leave, he'll find me." And then, she glanced at her daughter. "I can't let her get hurt." Vincent stood, placing cash on the counter, far more than the drink cost. "Take it," he said. "I can't." "You can." His voice was firm but not unkind. "And if he comes here again, call this number." He slid a card across the bar. Just a number, nothing else. Elena stared at it, unsure whether to be grateful or terrified. Vincent walked toward the door, then stopped. Without turning around, he said, "No one should have to live in fear, especially not her." And then he was gone. The shadow returns. 3 nights later, Vincent returned. He told himself it was routine. He liked the bar, the quiet, the bourbon. But the truth was, he wanted to make sure she was okay. Elena was there, same as before. But this time, she smiled when she saw him, small, cautious, but real. "You came back," she said. "Good bourbon," Vincent replied, sitting down. She poured without asking. "On the house." "No. Please. You helped me. More than you know." Vincent didn't argue. He just nodded. The little girl was there again, coloring at a table in the corner. She looked up when Vincent walked in, tilted her head like she was trying to figure him out. "Who's that?" she asked her mother. "A customer, baby." He looked sad. Elena blinked, surprised. "Mia, don't." But Vincent smiled. "Just a little. She's perceptive." Mia walked over, clutching her rabbit. She looked up at him with big, curious eyes. "Why are you sad?" Vincent didn't know how to answer. No one had asked him that in 20 years. "I don't know," he said honestly. Mia thought for a moment. Then she held out her rabbit. "You can hold Mr. Buttons. He makes me feel better." Something cracked inside Vincent's chest. He took the rabbit carefully, like it was made of glass. "Thank you." Mia smiled, then skipped back to her coloring. Elena watched the whole thing, eyes glistening. "She doesn't trust people easily," Elena said quietly. "Not after everything." Vincent handed the rabbit back to Mia. "She's a smart kid." "She is." For the next hour, Vincent stayed. They didn't talk much, but the silence felt different, warmer. And for the first time in years, Vincent didn't feel quite so alone. The storm. It happened on a Thursday. Vincent was in a meeting across town when his phone buzzed. The number on the screen made his blood run cold. It was Elena. He answered immediately. "What's wrong?" Her voice was shaking. "He's here. He's drunk." He's saying. A crash in the background. Mia screaming. "Please, I don't know who else to call. Lock yourself in the back. I'm coming." Vincent didn't wait. He left the meeting, ignoring Marco's protests. He drove faster than he should have, jaw clenched, knuckles white on the steering wheel. When he arrived, the bar was chaos. A man stood in the middle of the room, tall, unsteady, reeking of alcohol. Elena was backed into a corner. Mia clutched in her arms, sobbing. "You think you can just ignore me?" the man yelled. "You think you're too good for me now?" Vincent stepped inside. The man turned. "Who the hell are you?" Vincent didn't answer. He just walked forward, calm, deliberate. "I said, who the hell? Leave." The man laughed. "Or what?" Vincent's voice dropped to a whisper. "Or I make you." Something in Vincent's eyes made the man hesitate. Maybe it was the coldness, the certainty, the promise of violence that didn't need to be spoken. But he was too drunk to be smart. He swung. Vincent caught his wrist midair, twisted, and dropped him to his knees in one smooth motion. No drama, no excess, just efficiency. "If you ever come near them again," Vincent said quietly, leaning close, "you won't walk away." The man whimpered. Vincent let him go. "Get out." He scrambled to his feet and ran. The aftermath. When the door slammed shut, the silence was deafening. Elena was still pressed against the wall, holding Mia, tears streaming down her face. Vincent turned to them, and for a moment, he didn't know what to say. "It's okay," he said softly. "He's gone." Elena sank to the floor, trembling. Mia clung to her, crying. Vincent knelt down slowly, keeping his distance. "You're safe now, I promise." Elena looked up at him, and in her eyes, he saw something he hadn't seen in years: gratitude. Not the fake kind people gave him out of fear. Real gratitude. Real trust. "Why are you helping us?" she whispered. Vincent didn't have a good answer. "Because no one helped me." The choice. After that night, everything changed. Vincent made arrangements. A new apartment for Elena and Mia. Security. A job that paid better. He did it quietly through intermediaries so she wouldn't feel like charity. But Elena was too smart for that. One evening, she showed up at his office, unannounced, determined. "You can't keep doing this," she said. Vincent looked up from his desk. "Doing what?" "Fixing my life like I'm some kind of project." "I'm not." "Yes, you are." She stepped closer. "And I need to know why." Vincent stood, jaw tight. "Does it matter?" "Yes." Silence. Finally, Vincent spoke, voice raw. "Because when I look at her, at Mia, I see who I could have been. If someone had cared. If someone had stepped in." He looked away. "And when I look at you, I see someone worth saving." Elena's breath caught. "I don't expect anything," Vincent continued. "I'm not a good man, Elena. I've done things." He stopped. I needed to do one good thing. Just one." Elena's eyes filled with tears. She crossed the room and did something Vincent never expected. She hugged him, not out of obligation, not out of fear, just because. Vincent stood frozen. He couldn't remember the last time someone had held him like this. Like he mattered. Like he was human. Slowly, carefully, he put his arms around her. And for the first time in his life, Vincent Cordero felt something other than emptiness. The cost of redemption. But the world Vincent lived in didn't forgive change. Marco came to him one night, face grim. The others are talking. They say you're soft. Distracted. Let them talk. Vincent, this isn't a joke. There's a vote happening. If they think you're weak, I don't care. Marco stared. What happened to you? Vincent met his gaze. I remembered what it's like to be human. That'll get you killed. Maybe. Vincent leaned back. But I'd rather die human than live as a monster. Marco left without another word. The betrayal came 2 weeks later. A rival family made a move. They knew about Elena, about Mia, and they wanted to send a message. Vincent got the call at 3 a.m. His men had intercepted the attack, barely. Elena and Mia were safe, but the threat was real. Vincent made a decision. He called Elena. Pack your things. I'm getting you out of the city. What? Why? Because staying here puts you in danger. Because of me. Vincent. Please. His voice cracked. I can't let anything happen to you. To her. There was a long pause. Come with us, Elena whispered. Vincent closed his eyes. I can't. Why not? Because the life I've lived, it follows me. Wherever I go. He swallowed hard. But you and Mia, you deserve better. You deserve to be free. And what about you? I'll be fine. You're lying. She was right. The goodbye. Vincent drove them to a safe house in the mountains. Remote, hidden, untraceable. Mia had fallen asleep in the back seat, still holding Mr. Buttons. Elena turned to Vincent, eyes red. I don't want to leave you. You have to. Why does it have to be this way? Vincent looked at her, really looked. Because I love you, both of you, and love means letting go. Elena's tears fell freely now. That's not fair. I know. She leaned forward, pressing her forehead to his. You're a good man, Vincent, no matter what you think. I'm trying to be. She kissed him then, soft, bittersweet, full of everything they couldn't say. When she pulled away, Vincent handed her an envelope. There's enough here to start over. New names, new life. Don't look back. Will I ever see you again? Vincent didn't answer. He couldn't promise something he didn't know. He kissed her forehead. Then he walked to the back seat and knelt beside Mia. He gently placed Mr. Buttons in her arms. Take care of your mom, okay? He whispered. Mia stirred, half asleep. Okay, Mr. Vincent. He smiled, and then he left. The reckoning. Back in the city, Vincent made his final move. He called a meeting with the families. All of them. Marco tried to stop him. This is suicide. No, Vincent said calmly. This is a choice. The meeting was tense. Vincent laid it out clearly. I'm done, he said. I'm stepping down. Marco takes over. Silence. You don't just step down. One of the bosses sneered. I do. Vincent's voice was steel. And if anyone has a problem with that, we settle it now. No one moved. Vincent wasn't bluffing. And they knew it. He walked out of that room alive, not because of fear, but because of respect. Earned over years. Written in blood. He was free. Epilogue 2 years later. Vincent lived quietly now. A small coastal town. A house by the water. No guards. No guns. Just peace. He worked with his hands, fixing boats, building furniture. Simple things. Honest things. He thought about Elena and Mia every day. He didn't know where they were. That was the point. But sometimes, late at night, he wondered if they thought of him too. Then, one afternoon, as he walked along the beach, he saw her. A woman. Brown eyes. Familiar smile. Elena. His heart stopped. She walked toward him slowly, cautiously. And behind her, holding her hand, Mia. Taller now. Still holding a very worn Mr. Buttons. Vincent couldn't breathe. Elena stopped a few feet away. "We've been looking for you." "Why?" His voice was barely a whisper. She smiled, tears in her eyes. "Because you were wrong." "About what?" "Love doesn't mean letting go." She stepped closer. "It means holding on, even when it's hard." Mia ran forward and hugged him tight. Vincent dropped to his knees, wrapping his arms around her, tears streaming down his face. "I missed you," Mia whispered. "I missed you too, sweetheart." Elena knelt beside them, and Vincent pulled her close. For the first time in his life, Vincent Cordero understood what home felt like. Not a place, person, family. And as the sun set over the ocean, painting the sky in shades of gold and crimson, Vincent finally felt something he thought was lost forever: hope.